Hello and welcome to Teddy Tuts, brought to you by London Cyber School. Before we start, please note that this material is the copyright of London Cyber School Limited and our rights are reserved. In this session, we are going to look at results-oriented actions. The objective of this session is to share good practice when it comes to designing and sharing action points with each other. So how best do we go about designing manageable actions? One such approach is to apply the SMART method. The SMART approach requires that the problem must be specifically identifiable. Next, it must be measurable. There must either be a quantitative target or at least a statement of successful resolution. Next, we need to ensure that there is an attributable owner who is named and who has the authority and the resources to ensure that the action is executed. It needs to be relevant, and we need, for example, in an organization to demonstrate how it meets the objectives. And finally, it requires a timescale. Not only the deadline, but also milestones and objective points along the way to ensure that we remain on target. Using an example, we can demonstrate how this works. Let's assume that we need to grow our business. We could state that we plan to grow our business by increasing sales. Now, taking the SMART approach, let's see if this is actionable. Firstly, is it specific? No. The language is far too vague for us to identify a specific outcome. Is it measurable? Again, what would be the measure here? Needs to be stated. Who would be responsible for this task? It does not come out clearly in that simple statement. Yes, it is relevant to the business, but what would the costs be, and what would the benefits be to the organization? And then over what time scale was this going to be achieved? A week? A month? A year? It's obvious to us that this is not actionable. If we restate our objective in a SMART way, we plan to increase marketing spend by 10% and reduce our prices for our standard model product by 2.5%, to increase sales and to stimulate demand for the consumables associated with them. The market research, and we assume that market research has been done, shows that turnover will increase by 20% and profits by 15% in the next 12 months. Looking at this from a SMART perspective, we can see that the objective is very specific. It has enough detail for us to identify a specific set of outcomes. It's measurable both from a cost perspective and from a performance perspective. Costs will increase in terms of marketing spend, and we will reduce our prices, which in effect is a cost to the organization. But in return, it will increase turnover by 20% and notably profits by 15%, and these are directly measurable. Clearly, with marketing the focus and sales, the right person to own this is the marketing manager. And the marketing manager would, of course, need to synchronize with all of the other managers in the organization to ensure that this objective is, one, communicated, and that the action is achieved. We can see here that this is highly relevant because it has a specific statement of wealth increment for the business, and of course the priority would be high. And this timescale is clear, 12 months. Naturally, we can have monthly and quarterly milestones to ensure that we remain on target for results. It's very specifically a SMART approach. To achieve SMART outcomes, we need to be smart. We need to think smart and plan in a smart way. But it doesn't stop there. we need to ensure that when we implement this, we work smart. We need to reflect and review everything that we are doing so that we continue to improve our performance. Reflect on managing your actions. Thank you for listening. Good luck. Goodbye.